Yeah,
Good.
it's more than that. If you go ahead and share the particular one, I have it up right now to be shared. All right. So notice the subheadline. Up to 80% of women in Pakistan's jails are charged under rules that penalize rape victims. So this is 80%
Can you zoom into that,
of
because
the women.
that's almost invisible? Can you zoom in?
Oh, yes, I can. Let me see if I
Control
can actually
plus
just make
or
the screen smaller. That should
Control
zoom
plus.
it in
You
by
either
default.
control plus, or you do
Yeah, I'll do
control
both.
mouse wheel. Yeah.
Oh.
You can close that
There we
little
go.
yellow
Much
thing.
better.
Look at that. All right. So 80% of women in Pakistan's jails are charged under rules that penalize rape victims. 80%. So this is these are women who, in spite of knowing that their terrible, terrible, terrible chances, who still go to the law because they are so hurt that they want something, anything to be done. Please help me. I've been raped. And still, 80% of women in jails are there because they were raped and made a claim that they can't substantiate. Now, not only do you have to have 4 witnesses to a rape, but it's only 4 if it's a man. If it's a woman, you'd have to have 8, because you have to have 2 women for every man. And you also have to talk about the degree to which they have to have witnessed the rape. Because in the Ahadith, Muhammad was told that someone committed zina. They committed fornication. They said, "Oh, did you see him commit fornication?" And the people said, "Do you have 4 witnesses?" And they said, yes, there are 4 witnesses. Did you see them commit fornication? And they said, yes, we all saw it. And he said, well, did you see them having intercourse like a pin dipping into an inkwell? Meaning that you actually saw penetration with your eyes. And 3 of them said, yes, we saw actual penetration. And the last one said, no, I just saw the woman's legs up over the man's shoulders and her making, and in the hadith, it gives like a transcription of sexual noises, right? And that was not enough, because they did not see the pen dipping in the inkwell. So that's the degree to which you have to have evidence before you can have any hope of justice. And the whole reason that Muhammad did this is because he lost the stomach to stone people, particularly his own followers. Because if he was stoning because his men were committing fornication all the time. And so if he actually continued to stone all the Muslim men who were fornicating, he wouldn't have had an army left, and that wouldn't have left him in a rather poor situation. So he redefined that. Also, I think the dude's name is Asim. What Lloyd said about concealing something. There is a very influential imam who has a channel on YouTube who answers questions even in English, right? And it's great because very few of these imams answer questions in English. And one of the questions was from a man who said, I committed illegal sexual intercourse, and I feel so guilty now that I'm going to go to the hellfire. So should I admit it and get the punishment of it for it? And then that way I won't go to the hellfire, because there's this weird thing on Islam where, like, if you get the punishment for something now, you don't get punished for it later. And the answer from the imam was, no, you should not do that. You should not do that because one of Allah's names is the concealer. Because Allah will hide your sins for you. And because they stole from the Bible all the time, right? And one of the things that they stole is that at the very end, you know how it says in Revelation how everyone great and small before the great white throne will answer for their sins, right? And how Jesus said that anything that's concealed will later be revealed. And that's connected in Christianity. Well, for Muhammad, his followers were not so happy about the idea that all of their evil deeds will become known to everyone. So he said that Allah will actually be hiding out behind a hijab, like a veil, and he'll call to you to come up to him. And then behind the veil, so that you're still all hidden, you can whisper all of your sins to him, and he will ask you about all of your sins by whispering them to you. Because goodness knows that Allah is so concerned about your pride that he's going to conceal all of your sins for you forever. And so because one of Allah's names is the concealer of sins, the hider of sins, if you did not get caught doing something terrible, it's because Allah has determined to hide that for you, and you should just be grateful. So certainly
Can I show
not
some of that
confess.
from the Islamic law?